The world is watching. The chessboard has been flipped. For years, we watched a tragedy unfold in South America. We watched a nation, once the jewel of the continent, drown in the muck of socialism and corruption. But today, the narrative has shifted. Today, we are not talking about diplomacy. We are not talking about sanctions. We are talking about victory. And we are talking about the spoils of that victory. Ladies and gentlemen, the dictator is down. Nicolas Maduro is in custody. The United States military has done what the critics said was impossible. But the headline today is not just about the capture. It is about the cost and, more importantly, who is paying the bill. President Donald Trump has made a declaration that has sent shockwaves through the global energy markets. He has announced that the interim government of Venezuela will immediately transfer a massive stockpile of oil to the United States. We are talking about 30 million to 50 million barrels of crude oil. Let me repeat that. 30 to 50 million barrels. This is not a trade deal. This is not a negotiation. This is a transfer. This is the liquidation of a tyrant's assets to benefit the people he oppressed and the nation that liberated them. Section 1. The military and political context. Let us analyze the timing. This announcement drops immediately after the capture of Maduro. It is a 1-2 punch. First, you take out the head of the snake. Second, you secure the resources. President Trump is sending a message that is crystal clear. The United States does not just win battles. We dictate the terms of the peace. By seizing this oil, the president is doing two things. One, he is ensuring that the wealth of Venezuela does not vanish into the pockets of fleeing generals or corrupt officials. He stated clearly that the proceeds from this oil will be held under his control to be used for the benefit of both the United States and the people of Venezuela. Think about the psychology here. For decades, dictators have used oil as a weapon against the West. They used it to hold us hostage. Today, the script is flipped. The oil is now the tool of liberation. It is the currency of reconstruction. Now, let us dig into the technical reality because the mainstream media will gloss over this. They will just say oil, but we need to understand what kind of oil this is. Venezuela sits on the largest proven oil reserves in the world, but it is not the light, sweet crude you find in West Texas. It is heavy, it is sludge, it is difficult to refine. Here is the genius of this move. Who has the most sophisticated refineries on the planet capable of processing heavy crude? We do, the United States. Specifically, the refineries along the Gulf Coast. Our infrastructure was built to chew up exactly this kind of heavy oil and turn it into gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel. For years, our refineries were starved of this specific input because of the political chaos in Caracas. We had to buy heavy crude from other sources, sometimes from Russia, sometimes from the Middle East. By bringing 30 to 50 million barrels of Venezuelan heavy crude directly into American ports, President Trump is not just seizing an asset, he is feeding the American industrial machine exactly what it needs to run at peak efficiency. This is strategic alignment. It connects the liberation of a country directly to the energy security of the United States. Section 3. The economic impact. Let's talk numbers. 30 to 50 million barrels. At current market rates, we are looking at billions of dollars. Critics are already screaming. They are asking about the legalities. They are asking about the process. But look at the reality. The president has tasked Energy Secretary Chris Wright to make this happen immediately. Not next month, not next year, now. They are preparing tankers. They are prepping the logistics. This oil is coming to our shores to be sold at market prices. What does this mean for you? It means supply. It means the global market knows that a massive influx of product is about to hit the US inventory. When supply goes up and uncertainty goes down, it stabilizes prices. This is a direct injection of stability into the energy market. But beyond the price at the pump, look at the president. This is a message to every other regime that thinks it can operate against American interests. It says that if you force the hand of the United States, you will lose your power, you will lose your freedom, and yes, you will lose your oil. However, we must be realistic. We must analyze this with cold hard logic. 30 to 50 million barrels is a lot, but it is a drop in the bucket compared to what Venezuela could produce. The infrastructure there is rotting. The pipelines are rusted. The expertise fled the country years ago. President Trump mentioned that big American oil companies will be going in to rebuild. This is the long game. The 50 million barrels are just the down payment. The real price for the Venezuelan people and for global energy security is the resurrection of their energy sector. But that will take years. It will take massive investment. By taking control of this initial stockpile, the United States is essentially acting as the trustee. We are the guarantors that this wealth will not be stolen again. It is a bold move. It is an aggressive move. It bypasses the bureaucracy of the United Nations and goes straight to direct action. In conclusion, what we are witnessing is the return of peace through strength. We saw the capture of a dictator. Now we see the securing of the assets. This is total spectrum dominance. Military victory followed immediately by economic consolidation. The ships are coming. The oil is flowing. And for the first time in a generation, the resources of Venezuela are being used not to prop up a failed socialist regime, but to fuel the engines of freedom and commerce. President Trump has made the call. The Energy Department is moving, and the world has been put on notice. The era of the dictator is over. The era of American energy dominance is here to stay. This is the new reality. Watch the markets. Watch the tankers. The flow of history has changed course, and it is flowing north.